What's up, awesome students? Check out the animation here on top, right? It's a highway, horizontally another highway, vertically. At a certain point when cars pass by, there is an intersection. That middle part where they meet is the intersection. Today we will learn something related to that, where two lines would meet. Today we will study systems of linear equations because it's made up of lines. What else? And today we will use, of course, um, the slope intercept form so that we can make lines. And we will graph them. When you graph them in a coordinate plane, your objective is to get a solution, an x and y that will satisfy both lines. Are we ready? All right, here we go. Okay, so to make it easy to graph, linear equation should be in the slope-intercept form. We've learned this before. Y equals mx plus b. There's a link in the prerequisite skills where you could watch the video again. So x is the input value, you know that, and y is the output value. Okay, yes. And then the number beside the x is the slope. Slope is the vertical change compared to the horizontal change, y2 minus y1, right? Over x2 minus x1. And then b is where will the line bump the y-intercept. Okay, so remember that. Now let's have an example here. This is y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4. We start with the y-intercept, right? Where is that 4? Okay, y-intercept is here at 4. Look at this orange point. That's 0, 4. And then the slope is negative 2 over 3, meaning a rise of negative 2 and a run of 3. Look at this. 1, 2, that's negative 2. Run 3 times to the right. 1, 2, 3. That's the second point. Connect the points and you'll get a line, right? So if you know the slope-intercept form, you can now graph the line. Okay? All right. Okay, let's start. Now, sometimes in a problem, okay, the equations are friendly equations, meaning you can easily graph them. Let's start with the blue equation. So, we already know, obviously, just by looking at it, the slope is 1/2. So, let's write it down. Slope is equal to rise of 1 over 2. And the y-intercept is this, the b is 2. So let's grab that. I'm beginning at 2. 2 is over here. Rise of 1, run of 2. Rise of 1, run of 2. Rise of 1, run of 2. There you go. Do the opposite. Go down 1, left 2. Go down 1, left 2. See, the blue line is now drawn. Okay, now next, the orange line. Let's do the orange line. So obviously the slope is this one, right? M is equal to rise of negative 2, make it a fraction over 1. The y-intercept is this one, the b is 7. So I can graph it now, meaning I will begin with 7. Can you see that 7? 7 on the y. Remember, it's always on the y. And then rise of negative 2, run of 1. Rise of negative 2, run of 1. Rise of negative 2, run of 1. It's all in the same line. Okay? So obviously, you can now see where did the two lines meet. They met here. Okay? So let's read what it says. To solve a system of linear equation, you are looking to find where your two lines intersect. Guys, this is now called the point where they met. This is called the solution. Let's write it down. This is the solution. And our solution is on what point? 2, comma 3. All right, what's the meaning of that? Meaning the 2 represents all the value of x and 3 represents the y. Okay, so how do I know if my solution is correct? So what do? I check. Okay, how do I do checking? Copy your original equation and then substitute the value of x and y. Substitute 2 and 3. Okay, so instead of writing y, I'm gonna write 3. Okay, equals 1/2. Instead of writing x, I'm gonna write what? 2. And then plus 2. Okay, so that's a times. So on the left side, it's going to be 3. 2 times 1/2 is 1 plus 2. Left side is 3, right side is 3. Is that a true statement? Yes, if it's a true statement, then we know we are correct. Now, let's check the other one too. Copy the original equation. Y is equal to negative 2x plus 7. Instead of writing y, I will use 3. Where did I get that? From the solution. And then copy minus 2 or negative 2 times what? Instead of writing x, I will write the value of 2. And then it says plus 7. On the left side is a 3. This will be negative 4 plus 7. 3 is equal to 3. Is that a true statement? Yes, that's a true statement. Then you are sure it's a guaranteed answer that my solution is correct. Okay? Only 2 comma 3 can satisfy both equations. Now, let's try another one. But sometimes, guess what? The numbers given to you are not friendly. You cannot easily graph it. So how do I make it friendly? So this is what you're going to do. Remember, y is equal to mx plus b. That's going to be our goal. So y should be alone. All right? Y should be alone. What do I do? Minus 2x for you. That cancels out. Therefore, y is finally alone on the left side is equal to, bring down your minus 2x, then the minus 8. Guess what? It's already slope-intercept form, wherein your slope is what? Negative 2 over 1. Where did I get that? I got that from here. Okay. What is my y-intercept? My y-intercept is negative 8. Okay, negative 8. Now it's easy to graph. Okay, let's see that one. So it starts with the negative 8. Negative 8, there you go. A rise of negative 2 over 1. Also, the opposite could be positive, right? Rise of 2 and then left 1. Rise of, see, all of these are the coordinates. See that? Okay, that's the blue line. Now, let's look at the orange line. So, y is not alone here. Let's make y alone. Let's get rid of the x. Minus x for you, minus x for you. That cancels out. Negative y is equal to negative x minus 1. But I don't need the negative. I need to get rid of that. So divided by negative 1, all of this will be divided by negative 1. That cancels out. Y is now alone. Negative divided by negative is a positive. Negative divided by negative is a positive. All right. So this is now my friendlier equation. And then my slope is 1 over 1. My y-intercept is 1. Okay, now I can graph it. I start with positive 1, rise of 1, run of 1. There you go. Rise of 1, run of 1, rise of 1, run of 1. Okay, and where is the solution? The solution where both line meets would be here. Where? Here. All right, and the solution is, where is that? It's named as negative 3, comma, negative 2. This is the solution. Okay. Now, sometimes problems will be written as word problems. That's the difficulty for some of you. Now, let's read the following. The total price of the plumber's house call will be the initial or setup charge plus the number of hours X at the house times the price per hour for labor. Okay, if you look at this, plumber 1 and plumber 2. Plumber 1 has a rate of $50 first, pay $50 and 36 per hour. Plumber 2, you have to pay him $35 first and then 39 per hour. So look at that. That's already a friendly equation. It looks like an equation. Y is equal to mx plus b. So you will graph this, you will graph this. Okay, now, once I graph the two equation, okay, the problem is after 5 hours, okay, the two plumbers will pay the same charge. Are you sure? We want to know how we got that. All right. If you graph it, you will see that they will meet at a certain point. And that point, what's the meaning of that? If you look at the value over here, that's going to be $230. Okay, meaning both of them will be paid $230. At what hour? What hour is this? It's on the 5th hour. See, that's the purpose of systems of linear equations by graphing. Wherever they meet, okay, that's the solution. Okay. Now, sometimes when you graph the one line, graph the other line, they meet at a certain point. Okay, we're very good. That's very easy. And you call that one solution because they intersect at exactly one point. Okay, a mathematical term could be consistent independent, but don't think of that yet. We're not using those terms yet. But sometimes you graph one and you graph the other one, and then what have you noticed? They don't even meet, Ram. There is no common point. In that case, you could say there is no solution because they are parallel lines. Okay? Now, sometimes you draw one line and then the other line is directly on top of it. It's the same line. So how many times did they meet each other? Several times. So you call that now infinite solution because they are the same line. But most of the time, we will be focusing on this. All right? There is one solution. Sometimes you'll be surprised. You will see there will be no solution or the same solution. Let's try the following. So let's graph two lines and see where the solution is. Let's start with the first one. It's already in y-intercept form. So it's a friendly equation. The slope is the number beside x is a 1, right? So the slope is 1 over 1. And the y-intercept is over here, negative 6. So let's graph that. Let's begin at negative 6. I put a dot over there. Can you see the blue dot? Rise of 1, run of 1. Okay. Rise of 1, run of 1, rise of 1, run of 1. The pattern of points will make a straight line. No problem with that. Now let's do the red line. Okay, the slope is over here. So negative 2 over 1, the rise of negative 2 over 1. And since there's nothing written there, you could write it as plus 0. So your y-intercept is at 0. Let's start with the line in red. I begin at 0. Where is 0? Everybody look at that. That's the 0. Rise of negative 2 means going down. And then 1 to the right. See the next point? Go down 2, 1 to the right. Go down 2, 1 to the right. Okay, can you see the pattern of points? It will form a straight line. You can connect those points with a straight edge and make a line. Okay, but anyway, the most important thing is the solution. Where did the lines meet? They met there. And how do you name that point? That point is named as, let's write it down. Check the x and y coordinate. Where is it? It is at, let's see, it is at 2, comma what? 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 4. So 2, negative 4 is our solution, meaning your x will be 2 and your y will be negative 4. So let's write down our answer first. 2 comma negative 4. This will be my x and this will be my y. So let's check if it really works. Let's start with the one in blue. Y equals x minus 6. Instead of writing y, I will use -4. Instead of writing x, I will use 2 minus 6 on the left. -4 is equal to -4. So it's a true statement. Okay. Next, let's try the one in red. So copy the original equation. Y is equal to -2x. Substitute. Instead of writing y, I write -4. Copy -2 times. Instead of writing x, I write 2. Left side is -4. Right side is -4. It's a true statement. Okay, the solution satisfies both equation. Therefore, I am positive that 2 comma -4 is the solution. Okay, so now let's try the next problem. Slope is obviously 2 over 1. Y-intercept is -1. Let's graph that. I begin at -1. See the point? Everybody look at that. Rise of 2 means goes up, 1, 2, and to the right 1. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, it would be nice to do the opposite so go down 2, left 1. Go down 2, left 1, down 2, left 1. So you see where the point would lie on the opposite side. Now let's try the red equation. So the slope is -3, make it a fraction over 1. The y-intercept is -6. So we can graph that. Let's begin at -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check out the red point. That's where I begin. Rise of -3 means going down. 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. I don't have space to continue that, so I do the opposite. Opposite of going down is going up. 1, 2, 3, but now I move to the left. 1, 2, 3, left. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the left. Can you see those series of points with red? You can connect it with the ruler. It doesn't matter. Okay, the most important thing is that you saw the solution. It meets at this point. And how do I name that point? That point is called -1 what? -1, -3. So let's write it down. -1 comma -3. So to check that, I will use -1 as my x, -3 as my y. So let's substitute the value. Let me start with the blue equation. Y is equal to 2x minus 1. I substitute -3 is equal to 2 times -1 minus 1. Left side is -3. Multiply first -2 and minus 1. Left side is -3. Right side is -3. That's a true statement. Okay? Therefore, I know I am correct. Let's try the one in blue. The one in red, rather. Y is equal to -3x minus 6. Substitute your solution. So let me plug in -3. -3 times -1 minus 6. Left side is -3. Negative and negative is +3 minus 6. That's going to be -3 on the left, -3 on the right. That is a true statement. Therefore, I am very sure that my answer, -1, -3, is the solution. I am correct. Okay, now let's try ingenuity questions. This should be easier. All right. Consider the systems of equations. Which equation represents the first equation written in the slope-intercept form? Okay. So the first equation written in slope-intercept form. Okay? Because you can't graph it. 5x minus 2y, you don't know the slope and the y-intercept. So what do? We isolate the y so that y will be alone. So let's get rid first of what? Let's get rid of minus 5x. Minus 5x to the left, minus 5x to the right. So that cancels out. What remains is -2y equals, bring that down, -5x plus 10. All right? Y is almost alone, right? So now, next, I want the times negative 2 to disappear. So divide it by the opposite of times divided by negative 2. On the other side, it will also be divided by negative 2. All right. So that cancels out. Finally, y is alone. All right. Y is alone. So let's divide this. Okay. That division would be for both. There's like distributive property here. Okay. So negative 5 divided by negative 2 is positive. So let's just write 5 halves x. Positive divided by negative is a negative. 10 divided by 2 is a 5. Leave it that way. You don't need to write it as a decimal. So which is the correct answer? This is the correct answer. Next, Arnoldo needs to write the system of in slope-intercept form, which shows how he could do that. Again, he cannot graph because these equations look weird. Let's begin with the first one. 3x minus 2y equals 6. Again, your objective is to make the y alone. Minus 3x for you, minus 3x for you. That cancels out. Okay, negative 2y is equal to negative 3x. Bring down the plus 6. Again, I need to get rid of the times negative 2 divided by negative 2. So you do that division for both. Let's just distribute it. Divided by negative 2, divided by negative 2. So that cancels out. So y is equal to negative divided by negative is a positive. So positive 3 halves x. And then positive by negative is a negative. 6 divided by 2 is a 3. So the first one should look like this. Okay, it cannot be you. You're a positive. It cannot be you. You're a negative. It should be positive. So I'm not going to choose this. But this one, there's a possibility. This one, there's a possibility. So let's try the second one then. Okay, here we go. Let's try the second one. So let's try distributive property first. Remember distributive property? 0.4 times 20. 0.4 times 20 is 8. 0.4 times 20 is 8. So 8y. 0.4 times 15. 0.4 times 15 is 6. Plus 6 equals x. Remember, the y should be alone. Okay, y should be alone. Get away, positive 6. Go to the other side. That cancels out. What remains is xy is equal to, bring down the x first and the minus 6 next. All right. Next, I need to get rid of the times 8. Divide by 8. Divide by 8 for both sides also. That cancels out. Therefore, y is equal to 1 over 8x minus the lowest terms of 6 over 8 is 3 over 4. So the second equation should look like this. And where is that? Not you. Therefore, this is the correct answer. Now, we already have them in slope-intercept form. Guess what? You are ready to graph it. Now, this has been graphed already for you, right? So, what is the solution? Again, what do we mean by solution? Solution is where the two lines would meet. So, name this point, name that point, and how do I name that? It's a negative one on the x. On the x first, remember on the x first, it is what? Negative 5. On the y, it is what? Positive 1. So how do I write that? Negative 5 first, then positive 1. Okay? Okay, last problem. The equation is given and it was graphed already. Okay, thank you. Less work for us. Which equation would intersect this line at 0.46? Where is 46? 4 on the x and then 6 on the y. Okay. All right. Which line? Okay. So meaning this is already the solution. That's the solution. Which other line would pass through that? Okay, let's start with y equals 4x. Start at 0. Start at 0. Rise of 1. Rise of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Run of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Run of 1. Do you think that line would meet? That line would meet our solution? Okay, I can't, it's hard for me to make a line here. No, it's so far away, so not you. How about if y is equal to 4? If y is equal to 4, meaning this line. Let's use another color, the blue one. Y equals to 4, meaning it touches 4 but no slope. All right? Is it the blue one? Not you. All right. How about the next one? At 0, begin at 0. Let's use another color, the purple. Begin at 0, rise of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Run of 1. Okay? Will that line, the purple line, meet the solution? No. How about this line? Let me use a black line now. For you, y is equal to 6. Y equals to 6 means it is a horizontal line. Okay, did it meet our solution? Yes, it does. It met our solution. So that's the answer. Okay, so very good, guys. Remember, results is equal to action plus motivation. Okay, good luck.